It's episode 18, right? Marvel segment 2 or second part. What do you want to do?
I don't know. We don't have an intro. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. This is the Glaziar Gamble. I am Mychal Glaziar. That is Joe Rybolt. It is casual Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Monday, every day. And we are here to bring you the best Marvel discussions you will find anywhere else on the internet. So
let's just go over that. The best content you're going to find on the internet.
The best content, whether it's on our Twitters, whether it's on our YouTube, whether it's on Twitch. Wherever you find us, it's going to be the best content you find anywhere. Let's just jump right into it. You all look great today. Thank you for clicking and watching this. This is episode 18, and Eternals the pre-screens just came out, and major spoilers occurred. We'll probably not reveal those because we don't want to be part of those people that are just doing the spoilers for clicks and stuff. But it got spoiled, and I think it's pretty ridiculous.
A previous rumor that I believe we've covered on the podcast before in regards to said spoiler, but yeah, a previous rumor that just so happens to be true.
Yep. And there was an online news segment that they were the people that spoiled it. It was like a place that started doing like an online news media, and then they did YouTube and that sort of thing. I've seen a lot of people say that they think Kevin Feige, Marvel, Disney just shouldn't allow, unless they're like a reputable actual media company, if they started online, just don't allow them to go to the pre-screenings.
Right.
I've never once had a pre-screening review make me decide whether or not I wanted to go.
Didn't Venom start off at like 38% or something like that, and then eventually rose to like mid 60s or whatever?
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't let other people decide what you think about the movie.
Right. And I don't think they need to punish all online media, because hopefully, one of my long-term goals for us is to eventually have media credentials to be allowed into like sporting events for interviews and like early screenings of movies as well. So
really, we just need the clout and have the blue verified check.
Really, what I would do, find the next like don't allow that specific company that did the spoiler, don't allow them to see the early screening of No Way Home. Just like pick one movie, and that company doesn't get to have the pre-screening. Like there's their punishment.
If they're a reputable source and you allow them to view the thing, and then right after that they spoil your movie,
and they spoiled multiple. So I was talking to my wife about it, and she said, well, maybe they meant to schedule the tweet and they scheduled it for the wrong day. I was like, nah, I don't think so. And she's like, I'm trying to give them benefit of the doubt. And I was like, they tweeted twice, gave two different spoilers. And she was like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So they tweeted two times in a row within an hour. They tweeted out the mid-credit scene because the post-credit scene was hidden from the screeners. They only got to see the one credit scene. They didn't get to see the second one. The other spoiler was to do with details of the movie with two different characters. So they gave away two spoilers within an hour of each other after seeing it.
Yeah, not acceptable from Marvel's. Like, if I was Marvel, if I was Feige, I'd be on their case.
Right.
So
I would be on their case too.
In regards to that too, I even saw like a couple stills. Looked like it was from a phone via a movie screen.
And those people, come on.
And I can't find them again.
Well, those people, it's legal. Like, it's not illegal for them to spoil, because for Endgame and Infinity War, they had to sign legal documents saying they couldn't spoil.
NDAs. Yeah.
They didn't have to sign that for Eternals, so they didn't do anything illegal. But when you post an image, that is illegal, because that's copyright. So that was removed for that reason. The spoilers, last time I checked, they were still up. And he said that the guy that posted those spoilers posted another post saying that people were just being too sensitive about it. So he not only did he post them, but he doesn't regret it in the slightest.
Yeah, when Infinity War and Endgame came out, I I didn't go on Twitter for like that week.
Right, and it's and that's another thing. We talked about that, like when Disney comes out with a Disney Plus show, when Marvel comes out with like Loki, I didn't log on to Twitter until I could watch that episode. Usually it was like at most a day, but you can't expect people to not go online, like, because it wasn't just Twitter. When I went online, it was the first recommended story to me as well. The spoiler due to that post.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're like, after you watch the show, so if you watch it on like 8 o'clock when it drops or midnight when it drops, you're gonna want to go on social media to see what other people think about that episode. So yeah, it's just one of those things where you have to see something before you go onto social media. In regards to, like, if you're that passionate about a Marvel product, you're gonna have to do it that way. You're gonna have to see it before you go look it up or anything. So.
Right. But yeah, I just want to talk about that. We will never, we do our reviews and we put in our movie reviews that we've done, that in the podcast, we will do spoilers, but in the major movies that we've done, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Venom, we do no spoiler reviews. We will always stick by the give people time to see the movie before we do a spoiler. And if we do have a spoiler when it has not been the amount of time, we will do like spoiler alerts, and we will never do the level of spoiler that they did this past with Eternals. Because I saw other podcasts, I saw other like reporters, interviewers that said they've never seen anything like this. They can't believe this happened. So even though people have done spoilers like with Spider-Man and Venom, like how those spoilers happened, there's been nothing has ever been to this level with a big movie like Marvel.
Right. So yeah. So in regards to what you said, we do. So when we go see Eternals, probably on most likely the Saturday after it drops.
Yeah,
that's typically when we see it. We film our no spoiler
Sunday.
On that Sunday, it usually drops on Monday. But then when you watch the podcast, on the next Saturday, it's been a week. So like
I would
should have
say
seen it.
With major movies, I think a week is fair. And then with like the streaming shows, I would say 48 hours.
Yeah.
Because people usually can watch them in that time. But with movies, it's harder to necessarily get to the theater. I think we give a little bit more time on movies, a little less time on the streaming shows. But either way, we'll let you know whether it's spoiler free or spoiler alert. But yeah, wanted to throw that out there. Speaking of that end credit scene, the one that was hidden, there's been speculation as to why it was hidden. And the most common one is that they're going to bring in a connection to mutants. So I wrote down X-Men, but Kevin Feige wants to stay away from X-Men because that's what Fox did. So
we've mentioned this in the past thing in regards to the mutants and the Eternals, about how either the mutants or the Inhumans, they just have kind of a different DNA makeup, and that causes them to either get activated by a Terrigen crystal and go through Terrigenesis and get your Inhuman powers, or, which I believe is the same kind of concept as like Deadpool did, either go through a massive amount of stress, like your body goes through stress, or something you just kind of grow into it in regards to your mutant ability. So both of those things are kind of on the table, I think, in regards to like what could happen.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a connection to a future project. Like, I think it's going to be not necessarily introducing something new, because I think the other credit scene is already going to be introducing something new. I think the second one is going to be a connection to something like No Way Home, Black Panther 2. I think it's going to be some connection to an existing product. If it were to be a non-existing product or like introducing something new, I think they would be heading more towards Inhumans.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, because then very soon we're going to get Miss Marvel, and but we don't know what Miss Marvel's canon is going to be now.
And then another introduction to the Inhumans. It's basically a lot of stuff to deal with space. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 3 could connect with Inhumans. Marvel's
Attilan is on the moon. Attilan is an invisible force field on the moon. So
the Marvels could connect to it. The Secret Invasion could connect to Inhumans. And a project announced today also has a huge connection to Inhumans.
Yep, that is blowing up. That is, usually right before the podcast, I look up Marvel rumors on Twitter just to see what everyone's talking about, and that's all that there is. So.
You talking about World War Hulk?
World War Hulk, yeah, an adaptation of that.
For those who don't know what World War Hulk is, at least in the comic books, I believe it was a series about 9 or 10 comic books. that it was a coup kind of set up by the Illuminati, and a couple other members like Tony Stark was a major member of it, that banished Hulk from Earth and was sending him to, what's the name of his, Sakaar, the planet. On the flight to there, Hulk's pregnant wife dies on the flight to Sakaar, which caused him to go into rage. And then he spends his entire time on Sakaar absorbing radiation, so he's getting to a stronger version of Hulk until
what is Hulk's kid's name? Does he have his kid? Because that's
the kid dies. The pregnant wife dies.
Scar is his kid. I don't know.
I believe in World War Hulk, this kid is dead.
Okay.
But after he becomes powerful enough, he sets up revenge plan and comes back to Earth. He defeats Tony Stark and captures a few of the heroes, and eventually plans to put them in a gladiator arena where they're supposed to fight to the death. Mr. Fantastic, Tony Stark. So there's a connection to the Fantastic Four. But the first person that he kills is Black Bolt. The first person that World War Hulk kills on his revenge tour is Black Bolt.
I wonder how Black Bolt's because Black Bolt is crazy strong, crazy strong.
And so the fact that he can kill Black Bolt is a big deal.
Black Bolt disintegrated his parents in regards to the Marvel's Inhumans, which is not canon and absolutely horrible. But his parents wanted him, his parents basically were in front of him and they're like, "What? You can't go out in public because you could kill people." And he goes, "Why?" He goes, "Why?" and just disintegrates them against the wall.
Right, because Black Bolt has to be a mute because talking or opening his mouth releases sound that is destructive.
Very destructive.
Yeah.
So
it's like Banshee from the X-Men, but times a million.
Yeah, on steroids. Yeah.
And Hulk is able to defeat him, as he is at the moment of defeat. Black Bolt is considered the leader of the Inhumans.
Yep, and I believe Black Bolt has been part of the Illuminati before. So I know they've
that's who his revenge tour is supposed to kill all the members of the Illuminati.
So you got Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Tony Stark,
and
Black Panther, Namor.
The version of Doctor Strange, for those of you that have been watching What If, the version of Doctor Strange that World War Hulk defeats is demon-infested Doctor Strange.
Okay, so Supreme Strange.
Hulk doesn't kill him, but defeats him to the point where the demon exiles himself out of Doctor Strange's body in order to escape. And then in the gladiator arena, the monster that they originally have to fight before they get down to the final four is a tentacle monster.
Shumagorath.
Could be Shumagorath. So there's a lot of connections currently and that have been kind of hinted at. That all connect to World War Hulk.
That you said it possibly could have been like a mutant storyline with a post-credit scene in Eternals, or the hidden one. Professor X is also a member of the Illuminati, so it could go that way too.
Before he goes to the gladiator arena, the second place he goes is the Xavier School, and
youngsters.
He defeats apparently hordes of teams of X-Men, and because Hulk, remember, he's absorbing radiation, so he's just infinitely strong. Basically, this probably would kill Scarlet Witch at this point. And instead of killing Xavier, because the World War Hulk happens after the House of M happens, he had heard how much Xavier had lost during the House of M after Magneto was killed, Quicksilver was killed, Hawkeye, which wasn't a mutant, but he was killed in the fight. Scarlet Witch was murdered, or he lost a lot of people, but specifically Magneto.
Scarlet Witch wiped out a lot of them, yeah.
And because he had heard how many people Xavier had lost, he spares Xavier, but he does defeat a whole bunch of other X-Men. And then he also fights the Fantastic Four, so he could bring in the World War Hulk. World War Hulk is connected to a lot, which it's just an adaptation of it, so they might only do one or two things. The resolution of World War Hulk happens because the Gladiator event doesn't go as Hulk planned, because he said he wasn't planning it to do it where anybody died. And the person that shows up to defeat Hulk is Sentry.
Yep, Sentry's crazy strong too.
Yeah, Sentry shows up. They have a battle until they're both so exhausted they turn back into their human form. But then that Hulk he wears down. He gets experimented on somehow, and they end up burying that Hulk 3 miles beneath the Earth's surface, and they're channeling his radiation, and that's the creation of Red Hulk. So this adaptation could bring in Red Hulk, and then the overall resolution of World War Hulk is Planet Hulk and Red Hulk being the final solutions. Right. That's where it could go. A
lot of different things, yeah.
But probably not where it will go. But those
still
are all
hoping for the William Hurt Red Hulk. I still think that we're going to get that at some point. But
I'm fine. I would be fine if they brought in Red Hulk. I would be fine if they did made it the attaching to Planet Hulk, because I already tweeted I want it to be Planet Hulk. I tweeted as soon as
you're going to get You're gonna get Scar then too, which is you can do a whole nother thing with Scar.
With Miss Marvel's not coming out. The attachment to Inhumans with Black Bolt is right there. I'm cool with that, and I'm obviously very cool with the X-Men or Fantastic Four being the introduction there.
Yeah,
I think they've already shown they're not too interested in House of M, but it could be a House of M collaboration with World War Hulk as well.
That could be a reverse House of M too.
Right. So any of those possibilities, honestly, I think are great. As long as they don't stray too far off of any of those or all of those, I think I'm going to be very happy with it. Yep. And this is Mark Ruffalo's solo, and he's been wanting to do this for 5 years. So I'm excited, very excited for it. Wanted to talk about that because it's huge news. It's all anybody's talking about today. Wanted to give a little breakdown of what people could potentially be looking forward to. Speaking of all these things that it could be connected to, Marvel has a lot of products coming out. 31, and then it was 31, now it's like 33, and then today it was the number was brought up to like 34 or 37 projects that they're working on.
However, one was taken off the slate.
Which one?
Well, I was going to ask you, I don't know if you're going into this, but do you like chips?
I do like chips.
Okay, do you like the Fritos or like the Doritos or like
I like
Delays?
Doritos.
Like Delays?
Delays. I'm not a huge fan of Delays when you compare it to Doritos. But I'm a very big not a fan of delays in movies.
Yeah. So since all these movies and projects were delayed, they essentially moved them all back one slot.
Yeah.
So which means
some of them are moved back. Oh, okay.
They got rid of one because they moved it back.
And it was probably an unnamed one.
Yeah. It was okay. So if there was a spot that was open, they just moved everything back. So eventually that slot was taken. But now the next movie, so Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness was next up. It moved back like 3 months. So then that Doctor Strange slot is not.
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
So they could have moved instead of getting rid of one, they could have moved the one that was furthest away further back.
Yeah, but they just moved them all back.
But yeah, the Marvel delayed everything. So the big ones were Thor, Black Panther, Multiverse of Madness, the Marvels, Ant-Man. They even delayed non-Marvel projects like Indiana Jones, because it was Disney that did the delay.
Yeah.
So, but they even did things like Indiana Jones was delayed. So they delayed everything, unfortunately. But if this means that the projects that come out are better, because Evangeline Lilly was asked about it. She said this will be the best Ant-Man movie by far.
Right.
It's going to encompass more than any other movie has. Paul Rudd said Paul Rudd says he's excited and he thinks people will love Evangeline Lilly's performance. So he's just hey everybody, look at everybody else.
Right. Doctor Strange is crazy. Thor: Love and Thunder is crazy. We don't know much about Black Panther 2, which makes it crazy. Yeah. And then what was the fifth one? The Marvels is sounding.
All these Disney Plus projects sound like they could be connecting to Marvels.
Yeah.
So that's getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
I get them needing to delay it, and I'm fine with it. Like I don't like it because it means that I have to wait longer. But delayed gratification always ends up in a better result. Right. All these movies are probably going to be better than they originally were going to be. And this is what does Captain America say in the credit scene? I'm here to teach you all a lesson in patience.
I was going to say I could do this all day.
Well, I could do this all day as well, but I meant patience. Everybody needs to be patient. Yeah, you want to see this movie or whatever movie you're looking towards.
I want to see No Way Home right now, but am I going to? No.
I want to see Multiverse of Madness, right? I want to see Ant-Man right now. Ant-Man is the one I'm looking forward to the most, then probably Multiverse of Madness, then probably No Way Home. So then honestly the next one would probably be Morbius for me. So I got a lot of waiting to do, but I can wait. I can wait. I got nothing but time. Yeah, I'm excited for it. Speaking of people like not being that interested, this is a little side note. A lot of people weren't upset with the Eternal spoiler because people apparently are just not excited for it and not interested in this movie. A lot of the loud people, probably not the majority. It's probably just the loud minority, but a lot of people are vocal about how they already think it's going to be a flop. They're already sleeping thinking about it. And I'm like, really?
I don't know. Seeing like they have with how
look at the actors alone.
Yeah, Gemma Chan, Richard Madden,
Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek,
like so many people. With how big this movie is, like lengthwise, and like the cast, they've shown very little. Like they showed like the first trailer, and then they showed like the second trailer, and the second trailer was just like bits and pieces like shortly after what the first trailer had. Like, so there was like, they didn't show a lot of it, but
sure,
I'm crazy excited for all the characters. And
same. So for those of you that watched earlier episodes, I started out really not excited for this movie because I'm a huge non-fan of Superman, because Invincible, you have to come up with something completely fabricated in order to create a weakness for him, because he had no weakness. I get it. All things are everything is made up, really, if you think about it. But the idea of Superman I didn't like, and these Eternals all seemed like, oh, it's a whole bunch of just overpowered people. It's going to be just a bunch of CGI and boringness, like not a lot of story. But from what we've been hearing in early reviews, it's actually like the deepest storyline we've seen. It's actually an in-depth, all-encompassing, beautiful story.
They explain that like these are very strong people. However, there are stronger beings.
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish. Like we thought the Watcher was super strong, but the Watcher's took a vow to somebody, so the Watcher has to take somebody stronger than the Watcher. We've talked about that, so I just want to let everybody know I'm excited. I hope you are excited, and if anything gets delayed further, just like with Venom said that they worked on it till the day it came out, including touch-ups, highlights, CGI highlights, to make sure that the complaints that they got from the first movie were truly retouched. That's going to be happening with all these movies. Certain stories are going to make sure they have tight connections, not a lot of loose ends, and the CGI animators get extra time to really put out beautiful work.
In regards to, so at the Eternals premiere, Kevin Feige was there, obviously, and he was talked to or asked about which we covered before, the Venom post-credit scene.
Yeah. Yep.
And he said, they asked him basically like, how did that happen? How did that come to fruition? And he said, we worked together with Sony and Marvel, worked together a lot. Obviously, it is now technically like MCU related. And then he said that the Venom team and the Spider-Man No Way Home team worked together to make this as like accurate as it could be, or like make it make sense.
Okay.
In regards to like probably getting that the same way of how Far From Home ended, with Spider-Man being public enemy #1, and transitioning that over to Venom realm hopping, and now he sees Spider-Man being public enemy #1. So
sure. Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was interesting. I also I just thought that was pretty cool that he explained that into little details.
Yep, and Feige had his hand in there a little bit in regards to Venom, so to make sure like
he needs to have his hand in everything Marvel related that's going to be connected to the MCU. That's
so
why he's paid the big bucks.
Now I'm very curious to see how Morbius kind of ties into everything, because we've seen not Kevin Costner, Vulture,
Michael Keaton,
yeah, we saw Michael Keaton's Vulture in the Morbius trailer. So like Morbius should be in our world,
right?
So like how will that,
or which version of our world?
Yeah, who knows?
Which hopefully, and Morbius should have a connection to Blade, which Blade's part of the MCU. So
Empires,
they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out a way.
They'll figure it out.
The last thing that, like, the last big thing, we might have other things that would come to our head, but the last big thing was Charlie Cox just did another interview. What people want to keep talking about him? So he had a few things that, like, again, to me, contradicted it. So the first big things that came out from it were he said if he were to do Daredevil, that he would want it to be a completely upgraded rendition of Daredevil. Like it would be he would do Daredevil, but it wouldn't be the same Daredevil that you saw in the Netflix series.
Right. I think you saw it would be like an upgrade.
Yeah.
It'd be like an upgrade from that Daredevil.
Final comment on it was he said that doing Daredevil again, like for him, feels disrespectful to the Netflix series. Your face was exactly my reaction. Like I was reading it and I was like, oh, Charlie Cox said he's like interested in doing Daredevil, but he would just bring more to it because it would be dumb to redo the same character. Oh, he said it'll be like an upgraded rendition. Cool. Disrespectful to redo the character. What?
I mean, so Feige has said that if you were to bring those characters in, it would be a soft reboot, which means it would essentially, which is weird because when I think about those Netflix shows possibly coming in, it is definitely a hard reboot. Yeah. For me. Especially Charlie Cox. I would like to see kind of it having the same, same costume, same people.
I want same costume, but redder.
Yeah.
Like I want, like I know it's ridiculous and a lot of people.
His like maroon looks really good though. Like
the maroon looked good, but like when I think Daredevil, I want like red.
Right. Like Electra red.
And like when I think Hawkeye, I want purple. And I didn't like him in all black. Like Black Widow makes sense to be in all black and bright red hair, but her hair didn't go very bright red for a while. Yeah. Iron Man, he eventually got that like bright red and gold that looked so good. Vision still had his traditional like color palette of his skin, but the costume was different. Like I don't know, Scarlet Witch now has her more traditional one. I want the bright colors,
the vibrant comic stuff. Well, there's also rumors back in the day that he was going to get his like yellow and red suit, or he's like all yellow.
Vision?
No, Daredevil. Like there's a rumor that was like Daredevil could appear in She-Hulk and have his yellow suit.
That'd be weird. But
so I don't know. Maybe they will.
Cage, I expect him to be wearing a yellow shirt.
Yep, and like have those like cufflink things.
I expect
Power Man.
You don't get mad that Hulk's too green.
Yeah, I mean, you never in the Iron Fist series, you never got the Iron Fist costume.
So there you go. Once. Like people want, I want the bright costumes because it's based off a comic book.
Yeah,
and if with every movie being PG-13, you're telling me you're not going to make it super adult, so make it bright and colorful. Like, I
mean they changed Shang-Chi's. Like Shang-Chi's is supposed to have like the V or like the deep V, and then like I don't know, but they changed Shang-Chi's a little bit.
Yeah,
so they might change it a little, but
that's just my opinion. It might not be the popular opinion, but I want bright, colorful costumes because I think it looks cooler. And like when Venom eventually hopefully takes over Spider-Man, I hope that when he goes back onto Eddie Brock that he still has like the white spider, like he has the white spider on his chest.
Yeah,
I want that. I hope when they like bring in Toxin or Anti-Venom that they're bright, like vibrant.
Yeah,
I want them all to be bright. Like Carnage was a nice red. Make people bright. I don't know. I like it. Into the Spider-Verse was huge, and that was done comic book style.
Yeah,
clearly people will be fine if you brighten up the costumes. People loved the Halloween costumes in WandaVision.
Yeah, the comic tradition ones.
Yeah, people loved it.
Yeah, the Quicksilver looked great. Yeah,
one of the big comments on Aquaman was they wanted him to have more color to his costume because that was like the premise of Aquaman in the comics was like is kind of a joke at his orange and blue or orange and green.
They gave him gave him eventually the gold. They gave him like gold.
Aquaman sock.
Nice. They gave him like the gold. Nice. The gold kind of thing where he kind of looked like the traditional Aquaman, but it wasn't orange. It was like gold.
Yeah. So. Which, whatever.
Something.
It's something. Wonder Woman they purposely changed her up a bit. Yeah. But my arm can't go into your screen, but. It'll be this direction.
Iron Fist.
Yeah. Iron
Fist. We got Mr. Fantastic here. MODOK.
But I want that Iron Fist.
Toad. Yeah, this Iron Fist? Yeah, for sure. 100%.
I want yellow, green Iron Fist. Don't give me some dude that wears like a jean jacket or something. Like
that Iron Fist.
Yeah. Give us that, please.
What I'm hoping the pushback of all these Marvel projects is that Kevin Feige has something very important that he needs to get in one of these series. So either Miss Marvel, if that's probably going to be the next movie or show that comes out, something important that he needs to get into Miss Marvel that is causing everything to kind of get pushed back a little bit. Because if he doesn't think Miss Marvel would have came out in February or March, whenever Doctor Strange was going to come out, if he didn't think Miss Marvel would be ready by that time, and he needs to get a piece of information in Miss Marvel before Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, it could be in Inhumans, like you said. He needs to kind of introduce the Inhumans and get a Black Bolt teaser or an Atalan teaser before Doctor Strange possibly brings in the Illuminati. So I'm hoping that there's a key piece of information that he needs to get into Miss Marvel, and that's why everything got pushed back.
Within Humans, you could also potentially introduce Thane.
Yep, because Thane is Thanos' son, but he's also partially inhuman. So, yep. And I mean, you and I talked about the Eternals spoiler and how it could possibly connect to a lot of things. So, or what I would like to kind of see from a post-credit thing. But that's all I got.
Well, so this will be a little shorter episode, which I'm sure most people are fine with. I know that seeing the long time stamps when you click the video can be a little overwhelming. So we'll end it here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for clicking. If you did enjoy, like, subscribe, just lightly tap that like button. It takes enough abuse all over when people are smashing it on YouTube. So just, for us, be gentle to that like button. Just hit it, and we really appreciate you for coming. We hope to see you next time. You look great today. Live every day like it's your last. And GG.
GG.